I started it yesterday. I binge watched 4 episodes. Can't wait to watch 2 more. Very well done, guys. This is a popular Danish show. How does it take shape? You come up with the idea, Applause comes up with the idea.
No, in this case, fortunately, I think Applause had spoken to Highgate. This lady, Amrita Sen, who's an EP on the show. And so she had, I think, brought the format into play, or maybe Applause had reached out to her.
Okay.
So that's when the ball got rolling, and I think Jio was also excited about this.
Are you someone who will be like, I want to watch the Danish show, I want to see what they have made, how this character was? Would you do that?
Actually I had watched it because it's a very old show.
Yeah.
And it's one of the OG shows, as he said.
Yeah.
And in a way the...
Torrent ke zamane mein.
Torrent ke zamane
That's
mein.
how we
मैंने देखा. Yeah, नहीं मैंने देखा था. I don't remember. It's so long ago, I don't remember.
Yeah.
Actually, I had watched another adaptation. I had watched The Killing, which is the American one.
Yeah, American
so
one.
When this offer came to me, first, of course, I was thrilled to be working with Rohan because we've been friends for many years. I love working with Rohan. This is our third time together, maybe. President is coming and side hero, and now this, and it's very easy to work with Rohan and his team.
Now, I don't know if you all have seen Inspector Jhende, where Manoj plays wonderfully this cop who's relatable, and then there's Family Man, which is again a cop who's has a wife and has kids, and is now maybe because the audience accepts it or they want to see it. How does this work?
I personally found this very relatable.
Yeah,
as I said, this is a show. Anyway, I hugely enjoyed this show, and I think that like. Sanyukta Das, my character, is a very relatable character.
Yeah, talk to me about him. You know what? That is a great character. He's played it really well. The first shot when he comes and he's sitting with his shoes on the table, and your character comes and he wants to shake hands, and you are just not interested in relating with this guy.
I have to say that Sanyukta was far better dealing with Jay than me as Konkona dealing with Jay. I mean, Surya's a dream. Surya's a dream, a touch wood. I had said the one most wonderful. I knew Rohan from before. I knew that we would have a comfortable, easy equation. I didn't know Surya, personally, so I didn't know him at all. But it was very easy. It was very easy, very comfortable to work with him. However, his character was the most annoying. I mean, I personally found him a little obnoxious only.
Yeah. Rohan, Konkona, welcome to Bollywood Hungama.
Thank
you, Rohit.
Our job becomes very easy when we interview people who have made a good show. So first,
you don't say that to everybody though. It must be.
It is a challenge.
The disarming line to begin.
So yeah, I started it yesterday. I binge watched 4 episodes. Can't wait to watch 2 more. Very well done, guys. Very, very well done.
Thank you for all the unit and the crew and everyone who's worked on it.
True. I'm going to take you back. This is a popular Danish show. How does it take shape? You come up with the idea, Applause comes up with the idea.
No, in this case, fortunately, I think Applause had spoken to Highgate. This lady, Amrita Sen, who's an EP on the show. And so she had, I think, brought the format into play, or maybe Applause had reached out to her.
Okay.
So that's when the ball got rolling, and I think Jio was also excited about this. Obviously it's an amazing, it's one of the real origins of this genre, a female detective and the kind of character complexity, the secrets, and a beautifully done whodunit.
Yeah.
So that's where it started, and luckily I've done quite a bit of work with Applause, so I haven't burned my bridges with them yet. So they reached out, and I was immediately on board once they mentioned what the show they were trying to do.
Right.
And if there was any doubt, then when they mentioned that they were talking to Konkona to play that, then I said, wow, this is just like going to be a lot of fun now.
Yeah.
Because of course, Konkona and I know each other, so that was exciting. But just for her to play a cop was also such a fun.
Yeah.
It was not going to be something we had done together or she had done much of. So again, it's always fun to now we're going to do something new and figure stuff out. And I'm confident we'll get there, but we don't know how we're going to get there. So that's always fun.
Right. Before I come to the story and your character, I want to ask you, are you someone who will be like, I want to watch the Danish show, I want to see what they have made, how this character was? Would you do that?
Actually I had watched it because it's a very old show.
Yeah.
And it's one of the OG shows, as he said.
Yeah.
And in a way the...
Torrent ke zamane mein.
Torrent ke zamane mein.
That's how I watched it.
Yeah, नहीं मैंने देखा था. I don't remember. It's so long. I don't remember. Actually, I had watched another adaptation. I had watched The Killing, which is the American one.
Yeah, American.
So when this offer came to me, first, of course, I was thrilled to be working with Rohan because we've been friends for many years.
Right.
We've worked together in the past. Very different kind of stuff, comedy and all of that. Never done something like this before. And then I always knew of the Danish show Forbid Elson, but I had not watched that. So I did watch a few episodes. I think I watched only actually the first episode, maybe a bit of the second, just to kind of remind myself and get a sense of that. But you know, even the format of streaming shows has changed. Because as you're saying, 18 years ago, there were many more episodes.
Now
It's very different.
Right.
So not just like films and web series, but web series have also changed.
You know, so your conversation with Applause, what is it like? What do you have to keep the same? What theme should be the same? What can you experiment? Because you've Indianized this so well.
I mean, there's no formula for it, but you find if, like for example, there was a slightly different thing in her domestic life with the husband that we made a little more relatable in the Indian context. Right? It was that she's already divorced and dealing with stuff. Here it is. That didn't feel as relatable for like someone like Sanyukta, who's a cop, and probably a little more traditional on the family side of things. So it's more like but within that there's a little shade we give where Bhisham Mukul is an understanding husband, which is a little update on how you typically would show a husband being more patriarchal. But you see his patience is now also, you know, she's been giving him these promises that you know, I'm just
coming back.
You know, I'm going to be out of this, and we're moving to where you can pursue your career. You've kept your career. No, so that was the modern part of it. But not as unrelatable as a divorced woman dealing. You know, that somewhere with a cop, it felt like then that the whole show would be maybe have to be about that. Whereas this was, so that's a small example of how we kind of found it. Obviously, Indian society in 2025 has caught up in some ways with the Western thing, and because some technology has gone way beyond what it was in the West, but obviously culture is inherently different.
True.
One of my favorite things that I fought a little bit to keep in the show was her mother's character. You know? And again, such little screen time, but for me, it makes a world of difference, you know, because again, wonderful performer, and just the exchanges, and it completes her character. She's a daughter on one hand and a mother on the other hand, and that's the age we're going through, where you're grappling with all of this is kind of on your shoulders, and you have to balance it all, and it's the height of your professional thing as well, which is.
And I don't think Sanyukta would have been able to do half the things that she did accomplish in this show if she didn't have like some kind of support system. Because her husband...
Who's also judging her, who's also saying, you're like your father.
Not a simple thing either.
In fact, her entry line is like, behind every successful woman is her mother, or something like that. Which is very cool, I thought. To you, we've reached a point where cops are so relatable suddenly. You know, there was a time a cop they'll be very similar built, they will be strict, sitting on the chair and ordering, or they'll be action heroes. Now, I don't know if you all have seen Inspector Jhende, where Manoj plays wonderfully this cop who's relatable. Then
I've seen the documentary as well. There was a lovely documentary made on Zende as well. The original actors, the original Zende is also amazing presence.
And then there's Family Man, which is again a cop who has a wife and has kids and is running around to drop them to
KK
school.
and Special Ops.
KK and Special Ops. So, you know, do you think that now maybe because the audience accepts it or they want to see it, how does this work?
So actually, personally, I haven't seen a lot of stuff, and I consume very little content compared to all my friends and colleagues and things like that. I personally found this very relatable. As I said, this is a show anyway. I hugely enjoyed this show, and I think that, you know, like Sanyukta Das, my character, is a very relatable character.
Absolutely.
As a human being, as a character, as a working woman, you know, so, and it's not like I'm so familiar with the action hero cop series. I've not watched a lot of that. So in fact, that's not something I very easily relate to in any case, you know. So for me, I feel like, why wouldn't anybody relate to this? And especially women who make up a large part of the audience as well.
What do you think? You know, do you think we are at a point where cops are like not just an angry young cop kind of a thing?
Absolutely, and I think I think overall, crime for whatever reason is an extremely entertaining and engaging genre, especially in this OTT space. So you have to keep finding a new register, right? And I look at say the British produce so many murder and detective shows, and each one they find one new angle. Like I saw a recent show, Unforgotten, which is about cold cases, like after things that after 20, 30 years. So that is, so similarly, you've done the Angry Young Man show, there's always room for that. But you also now want to see, how does it change? You still get the satisfaction, like that inherent thing of crime exposing the human heart is always fun to unfold. Why did this happen? What tragedy or what compelled? That's always driving us to the conclusion of these. But who is going to be your Sutradhar or your investigator is what will make the difference. And why are they not up to the task, and how do they overcome their demons to confront their personal life and their professional life? So that's what keeps it fun each time. You can find one new element to reinvent and make it a new journey for your audiences.
Right. You said it's relatable. What all aspects did you personally think was like, these are people around having similar problems? These are people all around us in India.
These people, as in the characters like Sayukta?
Yeah, like her. Like, women who deal with, husband is expecting something and mother is expecting something.
That's what I'm saying, that, I think that many people will, everybody, by and large, who I come across, has a home life, has a professional life, and they're all trying to manage, especially I would say women, but even I think sometimes for men. Though I have to say, in my circles, more and more I find that people are not getting married and having children. And that's becoming also quite common nowadays. But in this case, I find that she seemed like a very relatable human being. She, I personally relate to her, as in my son is 14 years old. So, we were saying we both have teenagers. She's also dealing with a teenager. That has a kind of parallel to the case itself, where the victim is, I don't know if it's a teenager, only 18 years old in college. True, so that, those parallels, her daughter must be 15, 16, the victim is maybe 18. So, that is very close to home. And that is something which probably consciously or subconsciously or subliminally has an effect on Sayukta Das, who I'm playing, and maybe that is to a certain extent what draws her in even more, that it could, and how that affects her home life, how the understanding of having a teenager at home, how that affects her empathy towards even the parents, all of that. And then her, of course, dealing with this young upstart, new cocky cop, who is a bit of an angry young man, but of course there's a flavor of comedy in that relationship, which is nicely offsetting the intensity of the the drama of the actual crime.
Absolutely. Talk to me about him. That is a great character. He's played it really well. When their boss says ki I can't deal with another kid or something like that, he's played it really well. Tell me about him.
I think a wonderful actor to work with, and again, great collaborator who came in, with a very open enthusiasm. He studies the material so very carefully. He has a few lovely questions which will help us in presenting it. And the essence of this show is going to be the chemistry between the two of them, and how the dynamic changes. They're obviously chalk and cheese as we begin. And so for the audience, you're also putting a question: how the hell are these two who can't get along with each other figure out something that's unfolding? And that is also part of the fun for us to resolve that in unexpected ways. But him, he just came in and brought this kind of thing could have, again, you 5% over, it becomes obnoxious.
Loud
and now that takes the changes it completely. I was watching there's a lovely Charlie Sheen crazy documentary on him out. So good. And Chuck Lorre, I think, was talking about it, and he compared Charlie Sheen to Dean Martin. And Dean Martin has this ability, he's playing an alcoholic, but it's not. You've seen Dean Martin?
No, I'm
amazing,
not so
amazing. As a kid, I grew up watching these Dean Martin, Jerry Lewis. He was always playing an alcoholic, but it was never indecent. So again, you have to have that right balance, which you bring as a performer. So Surya has that, where he can say those things and it's not off-putting. It does not disconnect you from him. You still want to engage and they think that there is something.
Because it's also latching on to what is normalized in society.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
To a
he's
certain
coming out of that,
extent,
and he's also growing as you know. He's learning from her, and he's actually that's I think it's in episode 4 where they finally confront each other, right?
Yes, yeah.
And it's actually him who initiates and breaks her walls down, which is wonderful. You would have not expected it that way. In a sense, you would have thought that she's the one who would go and be more mature in that sense in that moment, but it's him. So that's what I like is those little nuances really help us engage, and they become more human, and that's when we relate more.
True, those nuances were absolutely amazing. The first shot when he comes and he's sitting with his shoes on the table, and your character comes and he wants to shake hands, and you are just not interested in relating with this guy.
I have to say that Sayukta was far better dealing with Jay than me as Konkona dealing with Jay. I mean, Surya's a dream. Surya's a dream. Touch wood. I had said the one most wonderful. I knew Rohan from before. I knew that we would have a comfortable, easy equation. I didn't know Surya, personally. So I didn't know him at all. But it was very easy. It was very easy, very comfortable to work with him. However, his character was the most annoying. I mean, I personally found him a little obnoxious only.
Yeah, I can't imagine someone sitting like that in front of you with shoes up on the table.
Yeah, and
How would you
then
react?
and then the way he's eating, I would not be so restrained. I would not be so like, okay, like
That's
I'll
when
be
me and
mature.
Mercy get away, the camera and I have to have some fun. So you just build up, you're introducing a new character, you're telling a part of the story. So it again, little bit of cinematic liberty of him sitting that way, peloing his chole bhature.
And you'll localize it further by making them speak Marathi here, because and also your character is Bengali who speaks Marathi, so it's very different from how the others are speaking. So I think those details are really, really well done.
Yes,
I could notice that.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Right.
Coke was extremely happy to hear this particular line.
Yeah.
Major source of stress, obviously, to pick up these dialects and these
I was
these are
sitting with a
naturally.
Maharashtrian wife watching, so she's like, this is not how it's pronounced. I said, okay.
Oh
You burst a bubble.
no! No, but he did say the textural differences of a Bengali cop speaking
That's how I will
Marathi and
pronounce.
stuff.
She's like, yeah, this is exactly like you.
Yeah, there. See, he could relate.
So, a lot of actors, Konkona, look up to you. The way you perform this, I sometimes just watch that scene, rewind and watch it again. You totally become the character. Is there a procedure of making this your own? How does it work? It will really help other actors listen to this answer.
It's very hard to tell, because actually I think so there is no particular process or any particular system that one follows.
Okay.
Of course it helps, the people you're working with, the fact that it was so easy to work with, whether it's Surya or Rohan or Mercy at DOP, and even the crew, Nikita and so many of them, it was very easy to work with them. So you have nice human beings around, you don't have a very stressful environment, that helps a lot. The original show was so lovely. I had a lot of respect for the show, for the material itself. It very well adapted to the Indian context. That also really helped. And then, I think little bit what I try to do is find some point of commonality with the character. Like in a Venn diagram, what is that, whatever that intersecting part? Because I really feel that we have everything within us. So, that this aspect of her, somewhere it's there within me. So, try to, or find a real life person like that around you to a certain extent.
Wow.
Or remember myself when I've been very focused on something, those
Wow,
kind of
it's
things.
working. Whatever you're doing is working very well.
And I think what was fun about it is I try to how the process we work with, which we have the scene, we actually discuss it very early on, right?
Yeah,
and it's there are other directors who are very fixed about their blocking. I want to actually just see it and we figure it out together. That's really, and it's fun and it's also high pressure because we don't have too much time.
Right.
But we get that 15-20 minutes. Let's just try a couple of things.
Right.
And in that you learn so much,
Yeah.
For me as a director watching it, for actors obviously even more, just feeling it and what if I try this, that. Those 2-3 quick questions will help solve a lot of things, and then it's executing it, which then I think then once we got a little comfort in the graph of that scene, I think that really helps.
We also did the readings.
Of course, that was very useful. We did 2 sessions.
Yeah, where we would always have like notes
so we had
or
about
questions.
18-20 of the actors and HODs. I've kind of keep pushing applause, and now it's become a ritual before, and it's so useful. Everyone is listening and getting a context. Oh, that's what that means, because you read on paper, but to hear it and questions, of course. What about it? And we'll make some corrections also based on some questions, but that, of course, sets the tone for it. And then now on set, we quickly revisit it. And now with the set, the props, and everyone in all costume and makeup, then you get a quick revisit of that thing, and then you go out and do it. So I think that also really that's one of my favorite things is about doing it, is being able to keep working on it, and then you can nail
it's great. You can see the results. This is all an outcome of all that. Do you like it? Is our readings stressful for actors when everyone is?
I too find it. Because I'm generally, I do feel a little awkward and a little shy. And it's right at the beginning. No, you're doing the readings like that's how you're starting. So it's like you're maybe not always very comfortable with the lines yet.
Correct. Yeah.
Obviously, by the time you come to shoot, you might become. You should become ideally. But in the readings, it's always a little nerve-wracking. You're meeting many new people. Many people are looking and listening, so that always feels a little awkward for me.
Wow, but do you think it's important and you should do it?
I think so. Okay. And there were some sessions where only Surya and I had come, and we ironed out many things beforehand. There were questions or little tweaks, or then, Rohan would tell us how, the mom angle, which we discussed, and how that would help. Those kinds of many things like that,
which really helped. Small little action sessions also, even to rehearse
the action as well. So just sessions.
Because the action's going on, but you're also conveying a certain,
and I'm not very used to doing action sequences.
So that also is a big help. Once you've done it, then on set, you're not seeing it from scratch, right? I am a great believer in all that groundwork. Because just the nature of work is that you have to get so much done every day that there's no time to breathe, so you can't be doing that kind of thinking.
Listen, apart from anything else, it's very easy to work with Rohan. I love working with Rohan. This is our third time together, maybe. President is coming, and side hero, and now this, and it's very easy to work with Rohan and his team. It's always lovely to work with good human beings. That's the best part. But he's also a very relaxed person on set, very open to improvising, to changing.
I think you just, as long as I think I'm clear about the function of the scene, the intent. Then we can interpret it in 10 ways, and it's the best thing to have people contribute to that, rather than I don't think you can. I'm not the person who can say, oh, you do this, you express it like this, you move like this. That's not as fun for me as the orchestra is all going to come together and make it a song,
Right. Lastly, to both of you, Rohan, I can see a lot. You enjoying the OTT space a lot. Have you, is it also because it's less stressful than a box office, which is another ball game altogether nowadays?
No, I'm sure that is obviously a big task to get people to buy tickets and come see a movie, and so obviously there is that. But I think you're assuming more agency in my career than I am. I find the next interesting opportunity and I pick it up, and I'm enjoying it. It's not that I'm hoping to work on a film soon, but so there's also the media environment where there's so much flux and change in all kinds of levels, viewing habits, on the whole industry side as well, the way films are getting made and not getting made, and all of that. So I think it's philosophically what I've really latched onto is I enjoy working, and if some parameters I'm comfortable with, and I just dive in, and I know that it's going to that 12-hour day is going to be tiring, but it's going to be very satisfying. I will bring this tool set to it and do my best and make it as good as it can be, and then you can enjoy it, whether it's a film, whether it's a series, as long as your collaborators are people that you get up in the morning saying, I was going to have fun today, we're going to do this, whether it's Konkona, whether it's the DOP, production designer, the whole team, it's going to be fun to see these people. We're going to have a few laughs also along the way, and work hard, and then it's very nice to hear it at the end of all that, to hear that it's connected to people who are watching.
It has. And lastly, to you, I meet so many writers and filmmakers who write keeping you in mind. What do you say yes to? what will you
I'm
say
not
yes
meeting
to?
so many of these people.
Yeah.
Who are these?
We have to connect, right? So yeah, what will you say yes to? Because it's really, people imagine you in different roles. What?
How lovely!
Yeah.
No, I've done all kinds of roles. I'm very open to doing different kinds of roles, and you know, as long as it's written with some kind of imagination. I don't want to do stereotypes and generalizations, character-wise, ideally. And like I said, you know, it's not like I think, like Rohan was saying, is that you know, you're imagining more agency than we actually have. That I really related to that remark. So it's the next most interesting thing that comes, you know. Like I
It's so much
hadn't
about
actually,
timing and, you know, things like just way beyond our.
I hadn't actually played a cop. I've
Yeah,
only done
this
a
is-
cop cameo in the past. So, and this is not a very typical cop in the sense she's not like wearing a uniform or anything. And I think I'd done a cop in Akira where I was a pregnant cop, which was a cameo. So I really enjoyed doing this. I've not done something like this before. And I'm very open, whoever these people are, please do.
Urvashi.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. Best of luck. Can't wait to watch the rest of the 2 episodes. I will definitely watch it tonight. Thank you for entertaining us. It's a huge responsibility that you all take on yourselves
you.
and entertain us.
Thanks
Thank you
for
so
watching.
much, Rohit.
Thank you.